Hello everyone, I'm Justin, this is Fierce Punch Studios, and today we're going to try out the new characters in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I splurged on the season pass, so I got the new characters last night. They didn't open up until pretty late at night, so I didn't get a chance to really put them all through their paces, but I tried a couple of the moves out, and I really like what I'm seeing. So let's jump in and see what they look like online. Just a sec to activate capture here. There it is. Okay, so let's hop into training mode and I'll show you a couple of the things I've learned about them. So far my favorite is Monster Hunter, but I actually like all of them. And I know we're all tired of training stage, but I think that this is an okay reason to pick training stage.
The quest begins.
I've got 2 costumes for her, but we'll go with the standard here. Partner her up with Captain Marvel. Whoop, wrong button.
Captain Marvel.
Let's do this, sister.
Yeah, black, red, and gold. That seems good. We'll do power for now. And we'll give the other Monster Hunter costume a try. And just for good measure, Fun Panther outfits.
Only one team will be left standing.
So the character pass, I think, is $20 or $30. It works out to be a fine deal if you are going to get all the characters. And I was planning on getting them all anyway, so that's fine. I got it on Green Man Gaming, which is so cheap as to be kind of suspicious. But it is actually a legit site, and I got a great deal. So what are we looking at? So Monster Hunter has these little knives. I have not played the Monster Hunter games. I'm thinking about getting the new one. But these have always been on systems that I didn't own at the time, or just came out at a time when I wasn't playing stuff on console or something. So she's got her knives, which I don't know the names of. I know these are all very specific items from Monster Hunter, but I don't know the lore. So these do 2 hits and cannot be chained into themselves. I'm hammering the button and this is as fast as it goes. So she has a harder time than some characters with the sort of standing jab mashing into confirms, which is a good strategy for people who like to do like head height jumps at you, just mash out jab. She can't do that, but the hitbox, if it is as good as it looks, will catch a lot of people anyway. Standing light kick has sad range and it's kind of slow, but it gives you enough hit stun to go into her heavy punch, which is this thing. Check that out. Her heavy kick is the knives again, and it's a 4-hit combo that launches. You have to be careful with it though, because if you do the first 2 hits and then try to launch, they'll be able to block by then. So you have to cancel very early as soon as the second hit hits, or wait until the whole thing finishes and then they're airborne. Her crouching attacks, this has pretty good range for a crouching light punch. This has really good range for a crouching light kick. She's swiping with her arrow, if you can't tell. That's her launcher, which takes a long time to recover. It's extremely punishable, unless you jump in after it. Her crouching heavy kick is her sweep, which is another very slow move. So you're best off canceling that into a launch or something like one of her specials. Command normals. She's got this, which is an overhead. You'll notice the first hit says middle under attack type. So it's good to just throw in there as you're tagging in someone. What else does she have? right, overhead slash, which does not count as an overhead. It is a high attack type, so it's just describing its motion and not its function, which is a little weird, but whatever. It's got huge range. It can hit with just the tip right there. I think from behind this blue line. Yeah, but if I just stick a toe over the line, huge. And a lot of these moves have armor too, especially the ones using her big sword. What else? What else? Lunging strike, right. So forward heavy kick causes a knockdown state. But the startup is a little slow. It will combo after the heavy attack, and it will combo after you knock them into the air with standing heavy kick. I haven't figured out a great use for it yet, so I'll let you know. Last one of her command normals is in the air, so let's check out the air moves. That's got a great arc. Let's get her out of the corner and see how good of a cross-up it is. Seems like just kind of okay. It's actually not as good of a cross-up as I would have liked. But because it's her light attack, she'll be able to use it when super jumping or hyper hopping, since we're doing the short version, over somebody. Air light kick. You'll be using this for a lot of your combos because her jumping heavy punch is super slow. Check this out. You can't just go straight into the heavy attack. And even if you combo into it, you've got to tighten up your timing to make it work. Get out of that corner. Jumping heavy kick is this jumping arrow swing, which is great. I mean, look at that range. The other thing she can do is her air command normal, which is down and heavy kick, which shoots a giant arrow at people. And you can cancel jumping heavy kick into it. Check that out. Jumping away, get the instant overhead, and then the arrow. And her air special can come after that. There you go. Easy, easy. So I think those are all her command normals. So let's talk about her specials. I believe the light and heavy versions of this both have armor. This is Fireball plus either punch. The heavy one can be charged. If you hold it all the way, it looks like that. If you release it just as the lightning hits her, you hear that extra chime, and it gains some extra properties. I'm not entirely sure what all the properties are, though, so we'll have to look into those. The dodge is important. Both kicks, this is all she does. It doesn't work in the air, but when you use one of her big attacks that takes a long time to recover, she can cancel out of it. So check out that. You can cancel into specials, but if you whiff, that's not great. If you do the Fireball plus punch, it takes a while and is unsafe even when canceled. But that into dodge, you're great. You're fine. Let's see. Demon Flurry is the move I showed you earlier. You can do it on the ground. That's light. That's heavy. I haven't noticed anything different other than damage. In the air, though, the light acts as a dive kick, and she does not have any air mobility options. So this is important to get right. You can do something like arrow and then that. The arrow stuns them for a long time, as you can see. And the hitbox makes it very easy to combo into from the arrow. The heavy version also has a great hitbox, but it goes straight across. So let's try something like... oh boy. Low light kick, heavy, sweep, launch, light kick, light kick. Light kick, arrow. And then into... oh boy. Ah, canceled too early. This is harder than I want it to be. There it is. And then the super version of it looks like that. You can go straight into super. And in the corner, you can combo the special into the super. Oh, and her air super, this, activates a demon meter that you can see above her hyper meter. You can see it draining there, and she's got the red aura now. And that changes her dodge into this demon dance. And you'll notice that when it runs out, she has this roll at the end that recovers from her evasion. And she can't pass through the opponent anymore. So getting that demon mode on really helps out your dodge. I don't know if it has any other properties. Arrow strike, light kick, heavy kick. That goes a set distance in front of you. So if you're full screen, it might prevent them from charging in at you, but it won't hit them. However, both of these can be charged. The fully charged version will hit your opponent at full screen. And it tracks their position. So if you get a knockdown, this is a great thing to set up for your partner to come into. Alright, what next? The Tartarus Stampede is her highest damage super. Check it. It's a cutscene super, so you cannot hit tag while it's going on, but it does 3290. However, if you do it, if you tag right before it comes out, you've got the other character there waiting, but you cannot control them. However, you can pick them up right as the super ends. You wouldn't normally be able to tag them in that fast, so there's still some value to that. Demolisher Demon Dance. That's this one. Whoops. And the air version. Check it in demon mode. Now that we're in demon mode, oh jeez. I am failing these easy confirms. There, notice that wall bounce at the end there? it wall bounces when in demon mode, but not regular mode. So this is important because it adds properties to things that you might not otherwise get, like that wall bounce. Trying to see if it uses up your wall bounce. But oh well. Meteor Fall. This is also good if you've got a character you want to tag into and you want to see them come in with great cover. So something like that could work. Let's see. Oh, and Hunter's Pride is her level 3. It's a pretty standard level 3. It's got a huge hitbox though, and it does pretty decent damage. Almost 55 just for the super itself. And that's Monster Hunter. So some of the things you might need to know when playing as her are that this has great range, but it will not combo into a lot of stuff. It will barely combo into the launcher, will not combo into sweep. So if you want to, say, get a little closer, you can combo it into the standing heavy, which puts her much closer. There you go, that's a pretty standard combo. You can do that into the forward fireball with punch, which gives you this thing. I don't think it will combo out of into heavy. Yeah, check that. So you can do something like this. Roll cancel it into a new combo. Oh no, I hit heavy kick right before I did my sweep. Let's try that again. You can pick them up off the floor with this attack as well. Let's check it when they're out of the corner. Oh, also, one thing I noticed is that if you do fireball plus punch, she gives you that. If you keep mashing it, she'll alternate that with low slashes. That overhead is like her command normal overhead. It is a high and will not actually hit overhead. They can block it low. I do not know what the point of this is, except maybe, well, maybe... Where's Gem Select? Let's try it as a custom combo with the time stone. No, that cancels into that. Huh. So that doesn't work in time either. How about this? Ends after 11. Well, I'm not sure what that's for. I guess to make you scared to hit buttons after you block the first one? So let's check this combo again. Oh, yeah, you got... So it's not that hard, but you can't just slop out your buttons with her because of how slow the startup is on everything. it appears that doing it with down and heavy punch will let her do a launcher. Whereas standing heavy punch gets you the overhead. Light punch gets you the overhead. Crouching light punch gets you the uppercut. Let's try the kicks. Nothing. So it appears mashing punch gets you some extra moves out of it, but I cannot really imagine what these are for. She seems to have better moves to cover your incoming partner with, so I don't know why you would go for that. That's a pretty easy combo. You get it into Demon, then you can give him one of these to make him scared to press buttons, and into the same thing. So yeah, I like her kit. It's pretty versatile. She's got a lot of moves, and there it is. And she can work at a variety of ranges. Her light punch can't get mashed. You can't mash it. It doesn't link into itself. It doesn't chain. But it's got enough speed that you can throw in the next move. And she does step forward with a little bit, so chaining into light kick, even though light kick is very short range, is a little bit easier. So I think what's going to be critical is this kind of thing. You can do that, you can do jumping away, you can also do jumping away and then low arrow. And so that's a pretty great mix-up, but because of her low mobility, she doesn't have any air dashes or anything, it's going to be hard to set up. Alright. So I'm favoring Monster Hunter. I think I'm going to take her online. I will show you guys the other two characters, but I'm going to take a quick break, make a little pit stop, and I will be right back in like 2 minutes. So we'll be back with Sigma after this. Okay, we're back. I'm Justin, this is Fierce Punch Studios, and we're playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The new DLC characters came out yesterday, and I'm giving them a spin. So, who's next? Character select. Well, we did one Capcom character, so let's do the other. We've got Sigma. He's got two outfits. The first one is more of his classic Super Nintendo outfit. The second one looks a little more in line with something that Ultron might develop. So that one's cool. Got very evil colors. I'll pick the normal costume, even though I like the other one better. And let's go Spidey for this one.
Wow, my spider sense is really tingling.
Sure. And show off the other costume here.
To usher in a new age. Iron Man Elite. Fight. Thrive.
So Sigma's interesting. He's also got a sword, and I like sword characters because they get those nice big normals like, what's the name of that guy in Under Night? The huge scythe. He just covers the whole screen and attacks. I love sword characters who can do that. His sword is not as overwhelmingly huge as Monster Hunter's, but he's got a lot of sword specials, which I'll show you in a sec. So, command list. Only one unique move. So, Light Punch. It's fine. It's a little short given his size to really get in there. Light Kick. It's a little slow and a little short, so it's a little weird, but his Heavy Punch, that's more like it. It could be better, but it's still pretty good. Heavy Kick puts them in a spin state. Crouching Punch. Crouching Light Kick, pretty standard. Crouching Heavy Punch. That's a pretty good damage for a heavy attack. That's what Captain Marvel gets. And his sweep, also pretty standard. Forward Heavy Punch. This eye laser, he has to lunge forward first before he does it. So it's not like it comes out instantly, but it covers a good amount of screen space for anyone on the ground. It's going to make people want to jump at you. So the thing about them jumping at you is that you've got some specials that can deal with that. You've got multiple sword slashes. And this is quarter circle forward with any of the four buttons. That's Light Punch. It puts it, the sword slash is that sort of uppercut, and it puts the tear in reality right in front of him. This one is called Arc Divide. So I guess those are the divides, the divisions. Quarter circle forward and Heavy Punch. He slashes upward and puts the divisor up there. Light Kick puts it above the opponent. Not above the opponent necessarily, but some distance away and up. Heavy Kick puts it that same distance, but lower down. See the difference there? The other trick is that you can press another button during those. So, Light Punch, Light Kick. Watch what happens when he gets hit by them. That's great for confirms. That's Light Punch to Heavy Kick. Light Punch and Heavy Punch don't help in that situation. They don't do an add-on. Mashing Heavy Punch does nothing. And you'll notice that when I press the Light Kick version, it puts it there. When I press Light Kick after doing a sword attack, it puts that tear in the same place. So you can control where the tears will go on the first and the second hit. However, the punch versions are the ones that put them closer to you, and you cannot do those as part of the second hit. Yeah, see a mashing punch and nothing for the second hit. So the first hit can be close or far, but the second hit always has to be one of the kicks, and it's always one of the further attacks. You can combo that into all kinds of stuff. So straight divide, that's this thing. Light punch does an upward, a rising version, and you can actually hit on your way down and combo into more stuff. Heavy punch goes straight. You can do them both in the air. Heavy punch still goes straight in the air. And light punch goes downward. And it does a hard knockdown so you can get your juggle and get the ground bounce from a normal spike in the air. Reflector Magnum covers a bunch of screen space. Light kick covers mostly ground in front of you and then arcs up. Heavy kick goes straight up and bounces off the wall. So this is great for people who like to jump at you. When I play Spider-Man, I like to approach from more or less that exact angle because of his web zip, or I think they're calling it web glide now. This is a real problem for Spider-Man. This one is generally good at controlling the ground. So between those and that, which you can cancel into the missiles, he plays a pretty good keep away game. And also remember that he's got that stuff too, so you can do something like that. Or, so laser beam the floor, throw something up there. If you think they're going to get past you, heavy punch to go right above you. So he's gonna get a lot of play with people who like a solid keep away game, but not as range focused. How do I put it? Who doesn't focus on the long range normals like Ghost Rider does. All right. So what next? Mirage Claw. This is a command throw with just a down-down input. It's got super short range though. That one throws them pretty far away. But if you tag right before the throw lands, it doesn't really matter. The light punch throws them in the distance you saw. Heavy punch gives you a ground bounce. So you can actually combo after that one, but it takes a little longer for it to execute, to hit the active frames. I've not been able to combo out of this yet, but nope. While we're here, let's practice some Spider-Man. Almost. Alright. Last is his counter, which is counter teleport. Action. Record. How do I record? Left stick. I don't know that I can actually hit left stick on my hitbox, so I guess I'm not going to record that. Is there a way to map that? Well, whatever. That's his counter. He teleports. It's pretty cool. For supers, he's got 4 of them, which is more than some people. Doombuster is fine on the ground.
I'll obliterate you!
Also works in the air.
I'll obliterate you!
one thing that's nice is confirming with his arc device into that. You can even extend it a little. There you go. That's decent damage for a very short combo. You can imagine that he can chain a lot of that stuff together for his longer combos. Blazing Mine, I haven't really figured out the use case for. You can combo after it. It's even in the combo tutorials, but you can't combo much. I think just a couple of hits. So you can pop up for that. And what's next? Rave Divide. This one, I think, does the best damage of his supers. The level ones, anyway. And he does this hyper combo with huge hitboxes around it. So you can try something like this. There you go. Even better damage. Last is Final Sigma.
Now unify the world! Now meet your end! This is how the world should be!
And that looks like a grab. So let's set our friend here to all guard. And see if it works.
I will show you true despair!
Nope, it is not a grab. Okay, good to know. His dashes are just okay. They're a bit slow, especially back dash. His air dash is just a box dash. He can't do diagonals. But if you can get him into an air dash right off the ground, you can do stuff like this. And even though he's got short normals for his jab and light kick, you can immediately go from heavy punch to heavy punch and then use his specials. If you get close enough, you can actually combo this into the launcher. And that's Sigma. I really like his combination of keep away and diving around the screen like Zero. I like that he can control different parts of the screen and combine a lot of that stuff too. And I imagine that people who get good with confirms from those stray zoning hits into full combos will get a lot of mileage out of Sigma. Last is Black Panther, and he looks a bit like Wolverine. People have been referring to him as the Wolverine function. And to some extent that's true, but I think that might be selling him a bit short.
Captain Marvel!
Hope you're up for this.
Figure out something with reality. But you know what? I think space might work. And we'll show off his alt costume, which is very fancy, kind of knightly.
Iron Hoop will prevail.
And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty hyped up for that Black Panther movie. All the trailers look amazing.
Fight!
Alright. You can see that he's got great walk speed. He's got easily the best walk speed of the DLC characters, and Monster Hunter did not have a bad walk speed. It's his light kick, heavy punch, heavy kick. That's got okay range. His range is a little short, but I mean, check out that walk speed. Check out his dash. Look at that. You can wave dash pretty far with him. So whenever the opponent thinks they're safe, you can do a single wave dash. That is, dash, crouch, dash again into whatever normal you want. And hit them from full screen. Literally full screen in 2 dashes. He gets most of the screen in 1 dash. So yeah, he's got really fast chaining light punch. A decent light kick, heavy punch, heavy kick. Crouching, crouching, crouching heavy punch, crouching heavy kick. In the air, he's got light punch, light kick, heavy punch, heavy kick. And one thing I noticed, which bothers me, even though it probably shouldn't, is that literally all of his kicks are with his front leg. Check that out. Front leg, front leg, front leg, front leg, front leg, front leg. All of them. It's weird. But anyway, back to his moves. This is forward heavy kick, puts him into an airborne state, and does a mini launcher. However, whoops. Oh boy, I'm doing this all wrong. There we go. He's got rekkas that you can do in the air. So let's see what else he's got. Oh right, Slash Claw. Slash Claw is an overhead. The first hit hits overhead, the second one can be blocked low, but they happen so quickly that you might as well consider the whole thing an overhead. I cannot cancel that into anything else. No specials, no normals. However, supers do count. I mean, supers do cancel. Sliding hook, down forward heavy kick. This works for your OTGs really well. What was it? Notice the way they fall with their legs in the air? Easy pickups. So that's it for his command normals. His chain of hunting is the Rekka thing that people were talking about. It's all light punches. This is all heavy punches, and you can mix them up. The heavy punch version does a little ground bounce. Notice how that didn't bounce him like the spikes normally do? That's because we used up the ground bounce doing this. Okay, a little bounce. The light version gives you the OTG. And you can pick them up with your crouching light kick if you want, but I really like that. It's really cool. So you can alternate light punch, heavy punch for any of those 3 hits. That all works fine. Predator Arts is also a Rekka, but it takes you into the air. The finishing attack is light punch, and it does that same OTG, or the same hard knockdown as the ground version. And that's the same ground bounce as the ground version. You'll notice that Predator Arts does the first 2 hits automatically. You don't get to press 3 buttons, like the ground version. Predator Arts uses up the first 2 hits of his Rekka. So your only decision is whether to use light punch or heavy punch for the finisher. Panther Bite is more or less a Shoryuken. Check that out. He's airborne as soon as he's finished with the first hit, so if you want to do a ground-based super like this one, you gotta do it immediately. And that doesn't look good right now, but you'll see why when we get to supers. Wall cling. Backdash when you're near a wall. That doesn't seem that important, but it's part of his whole kit for maneuverability in the air. Wall cling is the next one, and this lets you wall cling from anywhere. Even in the air, he will wall cling. Light bounces him down first, so if somebody's coming up to meet you in the air, you can go down away from them. Heavy kick goes straight back to the wall, so if somebody's throwing around a lot of lasers or something on the ground level, you can super jump, do that. Easy. So wall jump, once you're on the wall with any of these buttons, this is light punch. You'll notice that if I'm way up here and do the light punch, he'll run to the enemy and won't cling to the opposite wall. But if I do it from here, he'll bounce up above the enemy. Light kick does much the same thing, but the arc, I think, is a little different. Yeah, light punch goes at a steeper angle. Light kick goes more or less, was that 45? A little less? Or a little more, I guess, depending on the angle you're measuring from. Heavy punch goes like 15 angles downward to the opposite wall. And if he touches the floor with any of these, he will bounce back up. If he touches the opponent, he'll pop out of it. Heavy kick goes a little steeper, like 30 degrees. And if you hold down during any of the bounces, he will just rest on the floor. So if somebody's expecting you to come overhead, you can just get in right in front of them and sweep the leg. So that's his air mobility. It's very unorthodox, and it involves a lot of clinging to the wall that Strider does, but I don't think he can block on the wall. So you've got to really have a great command over this in order to get him out of dangerous situations and not put him in worse situations. This is going to be a big problem if you're playing someone with, say, Iron Man, who can do his angled proton cannon, or Spider-Man using his angled web throw. As long as you can predict the angles that your opponent will try to hit you from and stay out of them, this is a great tool, but it's going to take a lot of getting used to. So his supers: Hazard Zone, Fireball with punches. Pretty standard, 3,000 damage. Sudden Death. This is an overhead attack, which is very hard to combo into. Oh, that was in the air. Cannot do it from the air, and launching it will not combo. So, remember earlier when I said his Shoryuken could be cancelled on the first hit? Oh, wrong button.
Did you think you were safe?
I dropped the combo, but I'm hoping you get the idea. There it is. So, pretty decent damage. But I don't know of any way to combo it except out of that uppercut claw. What's it called? Panther Bite. Air Interceptor is probably going to be the go-to combo for ending a lot of his combos.
Like an arrow, right there. The predator traps his
See,
prey.
pretty easy. He can do the forward Fireball plus Kick, the one that launches into the air. He can do that in the air. There we go. So Air Interceptor, I think, is going to figure into a lot of people's basic combos. I don't know that it's the best use of your meter. It, I think, does the lowest damage of his supers. Yeah, it does 2850, whereas the others regularly do over 3000 in a basic combo. Last one is Law of the Jungle. Level 3. That does a ton of damage, and it looks super cool. So I think, let's see, Space Stone can do some tricky things once he gets on the opposite wall. I'm not necessarily going to pick up Black Panther for regular playing, but the people who do, I think, are going to get a lot of mileage out of his Wall Cling combined with Space Stone. Maybe Time Stone would work well for him, but it's tough to say. I think Time Stone can help because if you want to get on the opposite wall, the Wall Cling only goes to the back wall. But if you had a teleport, you can teleport through them and get to the opposite wall. Like that. You have to be careful because I don't think you can do it right out of the teleport. You're invincible on the startup, but vulnerable at the end. So Space and Time seem like they would be good complements to Black Panther. And that's it. That's the new batch of DLC characters for Infinite. I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Let's do quick training mode. Not training. Arcade mode with Spidey and Monster Hunter and see what we can dig up in terms of synergies and, well, maybe Captain Marvel. She does better damage, but Spidey has good mix-ups. Boy. I think I'll go Monster Hunter.
Quest begins.
And this will be a good excuse to get the rest of her colors, too. Captain Marvel.
Let's do this,
I really wish we
sister.
had the console-exclusive costume for Captain Marvel. Her Captain Danvers outfit is pretty boss. I haven't figured out what stone I want to use for this team yet, because I've been picking Power for Spider-Man because it makes his spider loops easier to combo into supers. But for these two, I'm thinking Time might work. Neither of them have a teleport, so that seems like a pretty handy escape tool. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Max's stream at some point. I think he plays this on PC, and I gotta find out what his loading times are like, because this is ridiculous. I cannot imagine that everybody else has loading times this long. I also need to pick up the compact GUI utility.
There's a bounty on my head. You trying to claim it?
I like the dialogue they've been
Who
adding.
will come out on top? Ready. Fight.
Nope. Oh boy, yeah, I'm really struggling to know how to start things up with her. I am struggling just to beat the computer right now, so that's not a good sign for my Monster Hunter career. Oh boy. No, that didn't work. My combos from day one don't seem to be working anymore. Random super. Wow. Wow. Maybe I should be playing Gamora. Oh, her guns. Her guns are too good. Wow. Maybe I should have picked someone else who I didn't have all the colors for, but whatever. I'm trying out teams here. So Spider-Man for me is hard to use because you need to get good with his spider loops to get decent damage out of him. But he's really good at doing things like just getting stray hits, zipping around the room, and opening people up. So I know how to approach fights with him. I just need to tighten up my execution and pull better conversions out of my ass. Monster Hunter I want to like, but I'm not really sure what the approach is. So after this, I might watch some streams of my own and see what people are doing with her, because I really like a lot of what she brings to the table, but that neutral game with her feels awkward still. And part of that is that you just can't throw out whatever moves you want with Monster Hunter. She is so slow on recovery that you've got to be on the ball with her dodge, and you've got to be on the ball with tag cancel.
But I have no choice.
Use your powers to punish the wicked.
So if you're just tuning in, I'm Justin, this is Fierce Punch Studios. I'm throwing Monster Hunter through arcade mode before I hop online with her. Oh, jeez. Quick block too early. That went forward. There we go. Really? I thought I had longer range than that. Yeah, gotta be on the ball with that. And I like how much vertical range this covers. It's ridiculous. Oh, I ground bounced him with the tag. Ooh, right into it. Easy enough. I really like Monster Hunter, but she's just not clicking yet. I think that she fits a similar niche to, like, you've probably seen Thanos doing his Titan charge that has the overhead plus armor. It's amazing, and it's a great way to set up a tag into a mix-up. And I feel like she's got some potential that way too, but I don't know if any of her overheads have armor. So she's just good at providing cover for the next person to come in. And that's fine. I mean, Hulk does that really well. So I guess you could think of her as maybe a faster Hulk. I need to figure out like a standardized way to fill up dead air. Maybe I should put the music that I have on my interstitial screens onto the game screen when I'm doing stuff like this. Either way, I think that Black Panther is going to be a welcome return for Wolverine players, and Sigma, I don't think he really has an analog in existing characters. He's closest to Zero, I guess, with his air dash stuff, but he doesn't have a charge shot to make things safe, and he doesn't have lightning loops or anything.
Avenger? That sounds a lot like a monster hunter.
You remind me of my queen. She too is a powerful warrior.
Hey, there's a Storm reference for the character that you can't have in this game.
Fight!
Ugh, gotta remember you can't use heavy punch in the air because it's so slow. Oh, jeez. Too early, but that's why I'm throwing him through arcade mode first, so I can get used to the timing and stuff. Thor seems a lot better in this game too. I might give him a try soon. That's not what I meant to do, but okay. Oh wow. I'm really screwing up this match that's just against the computer. There we go. Ugh. I gotta do more of that, what was it called? Demon Slash? Demon Dance? The diving attack in the air with her.
Now let's return to camp.
Okay, Monster Hunter references combined with
Only one
Marvel
team
Vibranium.
left
That's
standing.
fine, I guess. I think the problem with the Monster Hunter character is that because you can make your own character in Monster Hunter, this person has very little personality. The designs are super cool, but I have no idea what she's like as a person. So I was planning on going through to the end of arcade mode just to get a couple extra colors for Monster Hunter, but this is starting to feel pretty tedious. I'm gonna hop online after this when I get the colors or when I just can't stand arcade mode anymore. now I have a cat coming to ruin my ability to play fighting games. Are you gonna sit in my lap? Are you really gonna do that right now?
This shouldn't be used on people.
I guess so.
have no choice.
Let's see how well I can play with a cat on me.
Fight!
There we go. That's the kind of thing that I was hoping to do with her.
We're gonna feel this! Power!
Oh, okay. I should just do the super and not. Just do the super and not do the special along with it. And Captain Marvel has armor moves too. Oh jeez, I pressed a button. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to air dash. That combo doesn't work anymore, and it's kind of upsetting. Ah, I need to clean up my inputs because I did not have that happening all the time. Huh. Oh, I missed my combo. I blame the cat. I probably could have killed without using super there, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of this. Obviously, I'm a lot more used to Spider-Man zipping around, and Monster Hunter does not do that. But I like what I'm seeing so far. I haven't used Time Stone at all, and I really haven't figured out how to work stones into this team, but, you know, one step at a time, right? Loading, loading. You know, this isn't really conducive to running a stream. Nor is this cat that's claimed to the spot on my lap that the controller should go. Hi. Hi. You gonna say hi to the stream? Can you say hi? How about to the mic? Can you say hi to the mic? Probably not. I'm guessing the mic isn't gonna pick that up. Why are you so tiny?
Avenger?
Why is your voice so tiny?
That sounds a lot like a monster hunter.
Ready.
Yes, yes, Avenger. I was mashing Light Punch at the beginning there, and he won out. I'm curious about the frame data in this game. Oh, jeez. I thought he said Firebrand. Okay, she can only take one hit with her armor. Oh, I canceled wrong. Oh, didn't do that right either. Oh, do not have the buttons down for her. There we go.
Good.
The past is not important. Only the future.
Not too shabby, Parker.
Who will prevail?
You know, I like this last crop of fighting games, but the loading times have been unconscionable. This is not the fun time I wanted out of my Marvel. But I generally like the way the game is going. I think that if they can polish up a few things like some menus, maybe get in some X-Men, which I guess is probably more of a Season 2 thing, the game will really come together. But that's sort of Capcom's problem lately, that they have some great game ideas and none of it really ever comes together.
Don't worry, I'll just track her.
I feel like I'm one of like 10 people who still like Street Fighter V.
Ready. Fight.
Not what I meant, but okay. Oh, still not used to her combos. Boy, I am doing terribly. Oh my god. Keep using punches for dash. And it keeps being the wrong decision. Oh my god, I'm just trying to air dash. Wow, that's serious business.
We're humans and nature!
That seemed okay. I don't have a specific plan for the time stone
Past
for
is
them,
not
though.
important. Only
Mostly I just use it to escape corners. And team building is a lot easier in this game than in the last one because you only need two characters, and you don't have to have specific like OTG assists or anything. But even so, I think that there's still a lot to consider in team building. You can't really make a completely broken team because of the way the tagging works to make everything safe, but the general feeling I get is that you want one character to create a setup, and you want another character to come in and start combos. So for example, Spider-Man does not necessarily create great setups. He doesn't provide cover. He doesn't do any moves that keep the opponent locked down. But he does do a great job of opening the opponent up. Whereas someone like Monster Hunter has a couple of overheads, she's got a couple of armored moves, and she's got the projectiles to keep people locked down. So in the right situations, she can be good at setting up things for Spider-Man or Captain Marvel to come and take advantage of.
Do you think
I'm having trouble with her neutral, but this one is not about neutral. Okay, that is too slow.
How about this one?
Oh boy. Oh, come on. Oh, what a sack of hit points. Sorry for the lack of commentary, but boy, this is not interesting. Oh, he doesn't wall splat. Oh, come on.
The tipsy fool! We will erase you!
Oh my god, just stop being alive. that too high? Oh no, he started guarding. Of course.
Let's go! Let's go!
Did he get health back?
Gonna feel this!
Okay. What a sack of hit points.
Congratulations!
Okay. Got one of the two other colors for her. Yes, yes, that's fine. No credits, thank you. Hunting season. Tivon says his regards. I don't know what that achievement means, so it's probably a Monster Hunter thing. Let's see. Actually, if I can do a team setup, I might pick one in here that has Monster Hunter on it. Where is she? There she is.
Monster
Is this a new quest?
The second outfit is neat but kind of dumb looking. White and black is fun, so maybe do one of those and
Spider-Man.
one of these.
Reimburse me for web fluid?
Hit up training mode and see what happens. So after dinner tonight, I'm going to hopefully do more of a Let's Play kind of stream. Tonight, if my wife can spare the time, I think we're going to start Owlboy. So if you want to know about Owlboy, this is going to be the place. We'll do Power again since I've got Spidey on this team.
Black Panther.
Time for battle.
Sigma.
Work with you.
Battle without limits.
So I was planning on going online and doing some ranks, but I'm beginning to think that this cat is not going to leave where she is, and she's on my button arm. So I can move around, but I can't really hit attack buttons very easily. And now I'm sending a text because, wow, this takes a while. Okay, so
Fight.
I think that something like that might work, but
Up and over! Power Stone! Power Stone!
My spider sense is tingling.
nah, doesn't hit him that way. I'd hoped though.
Power Stone! 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 Get ready!
Not quite. Alright.
Power Stone!
Doesn't work like that. Like the first hit or two of that demon dance in the air, the whole thing does not seem like it's gonna happen. Oh jeez. So his instant air dash is super easy on hitbox. Just do up, forward, then forward. Super jump is a little harder. So I've got to go down, up, forward, forward. So that looked like I did down, then up, forward, then forward. But I've got to do it more simultaneously, I think. Ah, jeez. So, I've discovered a couple of tricks with Spider Loop that make it easier to do. One is to judge when you should do the next part by how high he is. So, just looking at the relative heights as I launch is very helpful to me. The other is that if you're just going to do a media resource decoding error, that doesn't seem good. Stream, are you okay? Let's check out the page. I'm getting some pretty funny texts that are not fit for stream, but I should probably respond to them. Alright. Okay. The other thing is that if you're doing a coming at ya spider loop, it works best if you can do standing heavy punch, standing heavy kick on the ground. The heavy kick will launch someone who's already in the air. And that helps because you don't want them to get too high, or else the loop coming back down will be harder to finish. So that works best because the heavy kick doesn't launch them as high as the regular launcher. However, if you're only going to do 2 reps, like that, go up twice, then you can do a little cheat and do crouching heavy kick into heavy punch. You can see that it gets a little weird at the end there, and it's hard to keep up. But look at how far forward his heavy kick takes him. It's hard to get the rest of the combo though, so it really only helps if you're going to do a couple of reps. See, even there it started getting harder to keep up. The great thing about the sweep is that it brings you so far forward that you don't have to worry as much about holding onto your dash as long. The air dash that makes it possible. So you can be a little sloppier in that timing.
Power stone! Power stone! Power stone! Power stone! Zip! 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 Eat this! Left fly! Zip! Zip! Power stone! Look at comfy! Huh! With great power! Calls him great! Beat down! How's that for a web slinging smackdown?
63.98.
Power stone!
Oh my god. There we go, I can combo to that. Pretty easily even. And that does a bit more damage, about 100 more. Is there anything else I can do? Hit stun decay gets pretty bad. There's no way to just install the demon mode without doing that super, so... That seems like a super helpful thing to do. Huh. The rolling attack, if you press light punch after the rolling attack, it's different from her usual light punch. Let's try her mid-screen combos. Nope, gotta do standing heavy. That doesn't work. It kind of works.
My spider senses tingling. Maximum spider! Having fun? Huh. I don't think you get it. Here we go!
So a lot of this game, I think, is about setting up the right situations. So getting the maximum damage on the combo isn't as important as setting up the right situation. So the thing that I'm not sure about with Spider-Man is how to set up a super that does that, because, or at least the best way. Because it seems like the best super for a lot of these combos is Maximum Spider, and also I love Maximum Spider. I've been doing that as a Spider-Man player since, what, like 95? Was that when the Marvel superhero game came out? I remember that was at our movie theater, and I had no idea how to do any of the jump stuff. The cabinet can tell you.
Power Stone! Assemble! I love saying that.
Maybe if I cancel that a little earlier.
Power Stone! Brawler! Assault!
That didn't work.
That's a walloping. Power Stone! Brawler! Assault!
Huh, that didn't hit. Do I need to do it earlier so it's still in the combo? Huh. Thought that tracked. Kinda does? Or kinda not? I don't know. It's really unclear where her arrows are gonna hit. It's full screen, it works. Right up in his face, it goes right behind him for no reason I can discern. Mid-screen, it also goes behind him but further back. None of this makes any sense. So she can't do any crazy arrow combos the way a Hawkeye can, but the fact that she can do that into the dive attack or the low arrow makes her more appealing to me anyway. What? Okay. Alright. I'm actually going to take a break from this stream because this cat will not let me go. And I think I need to take care of their water and stuff anyway. So I'm going to call it a little early, then take a dinner, then see if we can put on some Owlboy. So thank you everybody who joined. It was great to get online and play a little bit. I want to do more actual ranked matches and stuff, but I'm just glad that people stopped by and everything. Let's see. And that's about it. Yeah, check in later tonight to see if we do some Owlboy. That'll be a bonus stream if I do it. And this is Justin at Fierce Punch Studios. We stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and hopefully if I can get some people together to add to the stream, we'll do even a little bit more, do some bonus streams on weeknights and weekends, and I hope to see you there. So thank you very much. Let me just switch this over. There you go. Listen to the soothing sounds of Rainwave. I actually added the VLC source to OBS. I was using like a different music player that was playing to a virtual audio cable, and that cable was hooked into to OBS here as a separate audio source, and it was just kind of a hassle. So I switched that over to this. Let me know if the volume's okay. Let me know if everything else is working all right. And again, I'm Justin. This is Fierce Punch Studios. We played some of the new characters from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite today. I'm going to do a bit more this week. I might sneak in some more tomorrow if I can find the time, but definitely Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.